No problem. This runway's, I don't know, 325 feet or so, and they got off about half of it. You guys are tense. John Gurley, please move your group up to the flight line. You'll be fourth in line here. And there's a beautiful formation pass with the two Cubs. Now you see these guys are sitting here on the ground. They're standing right over there flying these airplanes. So they have to be able to visualize in space, in 3D space out there, where to position that airplane so he's right up close to the other one. And so it takes adjustments for the wind, it takes power adjustments, it takes all kinds of control movements to kind of get these airplanes close together. And it's tough to do. But they're doing it for you here today with these big giant airplanes. And if it gets hot out here today when they're done, and they park these things up here, they make their own shade, so you can just lay up under the wing. They're popular guys on hot days. You see the wind moving that thing around? I don't know exactly how much these airplanes weigh, but the rules and regulations basically say when an airplane's over a particular size or over a weight limit, you have to have special inspections and all of that to be able to fly them under AMA regulations. And both of these airplanes are following those regulations directly. And you see they do aerobatics. Here we see Andy Kane doing a hesitation roll. Uh-oh. Window fell off. That's the pilot just ejected out. It looks like he's got a little piece of fuselage that came off there during one of his maneuvers. Generally, there's a door on the side, where the pilot gets in and out, and that's something that moves on these airplanes, and it looks like Andy's ejected. Airplane's flying fine. These guys are professionals. Adam Miller's doing a knife edge pass, flying on the side up over top. And Andy's coming down to land his airplane. Obviously, when there's any kind of a problem whatsoever, you want to do the safe thing and bring your airplane down. All right, he realized he was a little short on the runway, or long on the runway, and those tobacco stalks were coming up fast. So all he does is add some throttle and goes back around. Now look at the pilot in Andy's airplane too. It'll crack you up. You got to look at the pilot and then look at the pilot. That means look at Andy and look at that pilot in there. That's like a replica bust of him. It cracks me up every time I see it. It's like a caricature that's exact. I guess Andy's decided, hey, this thing's flying fine. The door's open, you know. The pilot's getting a little fresh air. And Adam's up top doing loops and some nice Cub-like aerobatics. You know, these things are lazy airplanes. Like I said, Grandpa uses it to go out and chase cattle in the field. All right, there's Andy on the runway. Let's give him a big hand. When he parks this airplane up by the fence, take a look at that pilot and make sure you take a glimpse at Andy, and you'll know what I mean. So that's Andy Kane from DC, coming down here to fly for you at Fly for Tots. Adam Miller's doing a few more aerobatic maneuvers for you up top here. Listen to the power of that engine, 210 cc's. Big old loop, just powers over the top. That's actually probably more power than the full-scale one has. I think the full-scale ones have like 85 horsepower.
Jump out.
Yeah, all right, Andy just told me he had the seatbelt real tight so the pilot couldn't jump out. All right, it looks like Adam's gonna make one more pass for you here and get set up for a landing. You see the windsocks and the flags and everything kind of blowing in. You feel the wind in your face. These pilots have to deal with that a little bit when they're landing on a runway not pointed into the wind. But they're good at it. These airplanes are pretty easy to handle, but you still have to drive them. That maneuver, he's pulling vertical. He's doing what's called a stall turn. Look at that. Whenever an airplane's pointed like that towards the ground, it's kind of scary. No problem. As long as you're not sitting in it. You just don't realize how big that is until you see these guys pushing it back. Look at that thing. Generally, these airplanes are made out of lightweight wood called balsa wood, so that they'll be long and light and strong. So we kind of call these things balsa overcast. They make enough shade and everything on their own. Yeah, he did eject pieces of covering over here. All right, here comes Adam in for a landing. See that box on the bottom of Adam's airplane between the landing gear? You're going to see this airplane fly again at the end of the air show, and that box is going to be filled with some goodies. All right, he has to keep that wing down in the wind. There you go, Adam Miller, Winston-Salem, North Carolina area. Yeah, that's right. Give him a big hand. All right.